is a lot into beer. I want to say a very big thank you to all of you. Rich, Saturday DNK preview.
Sure.
But matches ni bi eba so. Paris Saint-Germain etnefie ehye Angers by a goal to 0. Almost say better me my boys. It was a Paris Saint-Germain winning over 1.5. Ousmane Dembele say penalty. Only Paris Saint-Germain. And you see, the way I Paris Saint-Germain playing on the first game, not in the initial game of was French League Adimono, I'm resting most of the players. I was very confident, and the data shows that if Paris Saint-Germain playing at home, they get more goals. No, Ousmane Dembele and penalty, no, I said no. Spoil it was in almost all the slips. No, I said no. But of course, Paris Saint-Germain won by a goal to 0. It was just a goal from our brand here friend Fabien Louis. Did you see the image of our brand here friend Gianluigi Donnarumma after the game? Players needing the co-fans to say goodbye or say thank you. I don't know exactly what they are doing. Rich Unim, football clubs intina me means your mutino. When football clubs are sacking a player, they try to make it look like or a hero. But say club player nankasa no see on there or no so pro nankasa can no be free on ma. Look at what Liverpool fans were saying when Trent Alexander-Arnold wanted to leave. Sometimes I'm
a traitor.
They're a traitor. Who move on from him? You move on without thinking about his family. But on one of so Coco Bon and Braco Pesca Cra, and move you on to the next level, and then you're a traitor.
Oh, boyhood, I clap.
You see,
why do you leave?
Boy,
you're more a trend.
Sir,
and then you're only now do baby. Also, you are moving on. Korea Madrid.
I'm going to do a bigger offer, but I'm going to make bigger credit. I'm going to say, Yenko. Gianluigi Donnarumma Nankasan, Ofri AC Milan by. It was his boyhood club too. He felt like he had to make the next step. But in the football business and in the world of business and economics, sometimes it's like that. It's Gianluigi said a goodbye to Les Parisiens. I don't know which club he's going to go to because still
the Roman the contract are running out.
And running out. And running out.
There's a coffee say Hana Sadi will see ya.
Yeah.
Kaminu Nebeka.
I'm
sometimes this uncommon so as in clubs, emotions,
But Rich, the difference is that Paris Saint-Germain Bejiska.
But the casting
no, but
because now it's clear. Abranton on come.
Yes, Rich. Yeah, the problem is say you team players 18 ko one city career nyibi. No, bakun ko Bejiska.
No, me nya me show.
Yeah.
Me share Abranton say yam fan say so na no. Ebi asenye sa seminasi.
Yeah.
And Paris Saint-Germain is okay. Abranton say obia ba ana offer bi be na kwa.
Yeah.
Me sure say nka offer na beba no.
Yeah.
Babu to table Quebec.
Maybe and Quebec bigger.
But now as a omu treating Abranton as if was surplus requirement.
But the coach says he's surplus to requirement.
But say ten the price so.
But Rich, you see, sometimes also coaching the leader of the technical team. So see planning team mama and not even that for me. Say Ghana cramp mini problem. Okay, Ogum saying Semba. I kept on saying say Ogum na your coach. Not so say player be ain't me money born I have a problem. But I'm far will now question Ogum. And that's why coaches lose their jobs. Inti Luis Enrique say no Lucas Chevalier no pay. Offer Chevalier any money and far. If it doesn't work with Chevalier, they also employ him to ask him questions and probably sack him from the club.
No going to be an internal.
I think that they could have handled this better. That I agree with you.
Oh, the woman in Trabent.
Yeah.
So catch him.
Yes, they could have handled it better.
On Trabent, not new go to Banama. Yeah. On them.
Yeah.
I mean,
they could have handled it way better.
They almost handle issue.
They could have handled it better. I mean, Gianluigi Donnarumma is going to move on. And now buying for you to Mreofi. 6 goals to 0. And it was an interesting game now buying for a boy. Now, Hurricane Eshe goal. Luis Diaz Eshe goal. It was a starting lineup of Serge Gnabry right behind the striker, Hurricane, Michael Luis Diaz, and they won by 6 goals to 0. It was a game not Xavi Simons Ebum, but then he didn't score. He wasn't even the best player on the field of play. Bayern Fon were way better than them. After the game, Andy Ekano, Max Abel said almost attackers, but they won't pay any crazy fee to anybody. they will pay a minimal amount of money and then make sure say omenya omunyoma omopel hono. Then to this one at the London Olympic Stadium. Not make us say we are no pay. I think say this was the very first time Enzo Maresca echo into a game. Psychologically, he was going to be tested as Obia Onoye favorite to automatically win. Which means from last season, Benyano. Now, Enzo Maresca and Chelsea team underdogs bisa. Even in the lead up to the top 4, it was sort of an underdog story. The numbers were that Nottingham Forest can qualify out of Chelsea, Newcastle can qualify out of Chelsea. It was more like an underdog story. Then they ended up getting that job done. Qualifying for the top 4, going on to win the Conference League, and then went to the Club World Cup. This season has started in a different way from Maresca and Nemnantiel, in the sense that now they are not an underdog. Ubisa Obia Beka say, oh, yeah, Chelsea say at least league record on Timinia, about top 4 there, and it's all qualify. So it has become a different story. Then they went on to go and play against Crystal Palace. I remember say on Monday, I make catch say system na Crystal Palace boy. It was the best way to stop Enzo Maresca's ball progression. And also with the fact that Chelsea lacked the presence of certain profiles only important in build-up play and creating chances. No, it was always going to be difficult. And going into this game, starting lineup the banner, not Kopama womb. It was Robert Sanchez, Gusto, Trevor Chalobah, Tosin Aderebiayo, Marc Cucurella, Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandes, Pedro Neto, Kopama, João Pedro, any Branche Fene, Liam Delap, and then Chelsea starting lineup. Reach just about 10 minutes to the game starting. Any young here, say Kopama F. Philip Bibika Krebi on a groin. And Uti Wakachi team doctor and they say Ombo. Rich. In fact, this was the report. And you Kopama and the Kachi team doctor and they say Ombo. When he said he had felt that, the doctor sent the report to Maresca. And the Maresca can't say so or Philip Bibia and Mama and more or my free. No fault for my mission. And this is the second time Maresca is doing this. So back in the Club World Cup, Reece James a warm up. So about a good game. Immediately, obviously, Reece James and Philip Bibi, then Enzo Maresca pulls him out, precautionary, and then brings in Andre Santos. Santos comes in and then delivers. It tells you where Maresca is coming from. Say, I said, this season and last season, he doesn't want to take chances with the players' injuries. And he has said, a lot of the things that will happen this season will come down to the fitness of players. Which the onus fell on no Enzo's Maresca to come up with a plan to stop West Ham for. Obi Oshema Chimia say in the opening minutes of the game, West Ham was super.
Yeah.
Very good. And I liked their high press, aggressive press. No? And no more pepe to say Crystal Palace. So last week, Mekacho say Palace want to press in a 5-2-3. They be Chelsea build up on a tactical border. Niame can say Chelsea build up in a 3-2. Into 3 centre backs, 2 midfielders to receive the ball in the first phase, and then the rest to progress the ball. In this case, Palace decided to match our numbers now, and then press Chelsea in the first line, man for man. And until Obia nobody ball who come Obia say Palace one number man fifth one are too crowded. In the Chelsea for 18 years being passing ball, what we call the passing lanes no, were blocked. So how then do you manage to deal with Sanya Maneman in the middle of the park and get a job done? Rich, you ran game against West Ham United. Now, Graham Potter has started with the same plan to also press Chelsea in a clogged midfield. Make sure that Chelsea passing lanes will be blocked, and then they will prevent Chelsea from receiving the ball in dangerous areas. But 2 things that West Ham did not do well is that outside centre backs were not as aggressive as Crystal Palace. And then 2, Enzo Maresca had a plan. What was the plan? Rich, Mekai said in the game against Palace, you both gave me no. Obi follow me on Twitter, Biano will see that I tweeted that I saw the little tweak that Enzo Maresca did in the second half. Remember Mekai on Monday. Say in the second half, Obi Kopama Moises Caicedo, every fifth you want them. I didn't make back line on Rich. Okay. So on Monday I told you say Moises Caicedo free fifty. I didn't make back line on. It's in Kaba press it with 3 players, man for man, and I'll show you on the tactical board. If you go to the tactical board, Nippon air build it with a back three. More like a 4-3-3. So Tabona back three ni say no. And now pressing with a 5 back. 5 back now kita now the pressing. One pressing almost everybody up top like this. Then on the side is okay. Me midfielder no hano. Me two in the manage na two ase. But me midfielder ni me yina ba ba ka etiri ase ho. I'm on some about 5. It what it means is that so pressing with a trainer, you would have to stretch the play. It won't be my park no any too constricted, any too compact, and they will be able to play from there. Rich, and my game will be here pinting, and then this very, very good chance fell to a brand here, your friend Lucas Paqueta. So she gave me be not say, when your goals now, I will analyze all of the goals for you one after the other. It's a bit my journey as on Facebook, so it's your radio. So we to analyze the goal, win a year, when you win a year, sir, they will move on from there. Rich, who was at fault in this goal? Who's a Stavon a career flick in the weekend? And I like Assembly and Maresca count at the game. Also, what to say, Obia Caso Estavao Nimbo, Estavao Yadi, and Okrestava Yadi. But what he wants to say that, a young player, and he has to understand Adebia Omo football tacticians, no friend of Rex reward. And even in life, Rex reward is important. Because Abia Pesa will flick it, Abia Pesa will change, Abia Pesa will turn it. But Zoro now, yes, Adiano, say, Bukema. You put your team in trouble. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened in the lead up to this game.
You don't do that.
Yeah. It's just about Unye, Ekobukem, and a Paqueta far board. Now, it is in the zone where Escabao is supposed to come back and come and defend on no Paqueta. It's now Moses guy said on him, say, Uncle, so on you know, so Uncle, on you know, and a Uniaso. He was not set at the right place.
Sure. Because that time, Chelsea in the Kutaba more attack.
Yeah, it was abandoning.
Probably abandoning. Yeah. And as someone who can Kaime Nations Cup no. Yeah. Obeka Afcon. Yeah. Inaki any Egypt no. Yeah. Yeah. Come on back pass bia. Kubuke mo onkofu di coach.
It was a stylistic blessing na. Coach is more common pe omo. And it's go for bebre esuro Ryan Cherky at Man City. Because one thing your Pep force him to just pass the ball. Sane kitchen and not kitchen will Leon no.
Estevao no, I think also buy no.
Yeah.
So the kind of reception that Chelsea fans demand now. Around no feel big. Yeah. What a done open crack. Yeah. Asili no Messi, Ronaldo bina. EBMT as a didn't seem kaka. And no as well already. Oh yeah. What is the Premier League?
And that's the thing. I like the fact that see Enzo is being straight up and honest to him. Say, ball running ball. But I don't know.
Exaggeration.
You don't do too much. And now, share what he did in the game. He was super. Sure. He won the man of the match. But that's an excellent ball.
Me moment they may blame
center backs no.
The center backs and the goalkeeper. All man is space.
Chaloba Oba. I don't know who this player is, but Unyaba pe player nko Abanatum. It's Chaloba. I don't know. Maybe Tosin, but Tosin also
so close. You're close enough.
Anna Sadio. Rich. Me am a center back. Bobby said, they say a center back, you step up. Who
could be originally? A center back.
Obi oni mi bia ni me a solid baller and there and I feel never do watching. Everybody that knows me.
Obonwe.
Kote unique.
Aye.
Kote unique pack.
Players now no me say. Muso 11.
Yes, so 11 correct players.
Maybe shoot a bench.
Aye.
Omo ti bench omo be say.
Omo dos bebre. Now that you Kobo Kumasi Media versus movie stars and never me boy equalizer. And you come to boss 7 Vinicio Junior. Obia me make I say do not me boss 7. But still na me juma.
And catch him now.
Send me the utility.
Tapping.
Whether
juma na wi na wo kobo ball no no. Udi be down so kwai we dey enko.
Senior ye bie ba ku bi member unim Yakubu Aigbe.
Wo boss center back ma te enko.
Senior unim Yakubu Aigbe ni. Ye bie ba ku man wa Afcon. Na ball na ira. Or the striker. You need Aigbe ni ba ball na ira.
Ati amamu.
Now we are in your professional. This is wrong. That was a good goal from our brand here, your friend Lucas Paqueta. Rich, it took 9 minutes for Chelsea to look for the equalizer. I don't know for Chelsea fans, but when the Chelsea train nature for a while now, 2 seasons ago, Chelsea confirmed a baby by Fredo Bernardo Cueva. Now Bernardo Cueva no Jumana, you didn't buy some man say. Boa Chelsea in set pieces in both boxes. Set Chelsea a defender set piece. Set Chelsea air chef from set piece. And I think that from the Club World Cup, I've ever seen them. Bernardo Cuevar's handiwork has come. And now also in a post-match analysis from Mark Kukurea. Kukurea say they have been training about these set-piece routines on the training ground. And Bernardo Cueva is giving them the things that he has to give them. Rich, Chelsea stood as if they were going to play in a short corner kick. Kukurea pulled Lucas Paqueta to the line. Now, Kukurea a better for Lucas Paqueta. Just before somebody was born, and on Sunday, Lucas Paqueta, Ebanechi. Obanechia, no about the first pole in this area. And only Lucas Paqueta, also Lucas Paqueta and him, Paqueta is trying to pull him away. Then Pedro Neto no hear the free kick can ball to Kukurea to pepe.
Sudden just is a mutai.
Yeah, what me against
Kukurea no fleck or the Mitina fleck Benechi.
And it is Bernardo Cueva. It's Bernardo Cueva. In fact, Kukurea said it to Sky Sports after the game, said Omo tools free kick set piece routines now. And Omo will say Arsenal tie a bomb. So they've also added it to them. Rich or Fleke pe unia pump. But see, I know that you like Liam Delap. Yesterday we spoke about who and how Chelsea should do the starting lineup up top. No, which Liam Delap Ejumoye stopping Abrante and Hermansen from coming. He will not get a lot of the plaudits, but he was very good. So that was the Chelsea equalizer from the third goal for me. It was down to two things. My former player Abrante and Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
No,
he did not track well, and also the press and counter press of Abrante and Trevor Chalobah. In again, so ball, you know what I'm saying. Or then the 9 on himself 50-50 ball. On his Paqueta Pesobo. So he gives you the leg. Ubutu the 9 when you foul. One Butu is an advantage for him and he moves on. Once Paqueta did that, a very good ball, Abrante finished Joao Pedro Neto attacked the far post and then got a job that made Pedro Neto and same giri. I've said it several times here. I thought it'd be a ball on a chair and I said it. And I need to test form. But when it comes to application, he is good and he did that yesterday. The third goal for me came from a brilliance in Estevao William. And this is where Obi Asher match not okay, Estevao is good. There is good potential coming in off the bench when Kupama is not there, stepping up in the game to get a job done. But Rich, another one. Look at this guy. Say Chelsea Ebo Liam Dilapa. Ebia on share 40, on share 30. But he gives you center back or penny, center for penny, center backs. No, Odiah play nicely. That's what he did here. Estevao managed to carry the ball in that area. Good riddance from him, and then of course played it across the face of goal. And Enzo Fernandez, Emmanuel, 3-1 in the first half. At this point in time, now Akoye Agbera in the second half, it was just about getting players and minutes. It's a 3 points to Enzo Maresca. I'm not too focused about the scoreline. I'm focused about the reaction after going down by a goal to 0, and the reaction after the Crystal Palace draw, and then also Enzo Maresca tactically setting up a team to go in there and then give them the base to get a job done. I think so, it's a very, very good run for Enzo Maresca. 3 points, and it started and now we can know how on him.
And then against me being now to assume.
Send me and no first go and say, but it's the only tata on it there.
And now before the game, I mean, so some more guys or girls.
Yeah.
So I called one of them.
London.
Guys, and I'm catching so Uncle Western team. Now on mommy Gerard Bowen, I'm doing Kasa.
Okay.
On the phone come out.
Oh
yeah, phone.
Okay, FaceTime audio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quality somebody I German so English.
Yeah.
Tear the Abrofia. Yeah. Who is this now? Oh, this is Richardo.
Okay.
Is she from Ghana? I say, I want to send out go from King Kensu.
Okay.
And King Kensu.
Yeah.
Gerard Bowen, who something what to say. I'm so chairman who yeah. Now ready a boko tie.
And then you need Gerard Bewa.
Quarem to what the Bewa and Abrofone Borna. If you can cancel ya. Go to be some what to say. Tell Quam here, I'm so chairman, so I can say, yeah. And you ready have been.
And you demand
call for ne by Yanum. You chew me, mammy.
Be them.
Aquabian and also Richard Oda da. Edman may
Chacha.
Let you a boy who call ya. 5. Coffee name none. 5. Na grandporter, the grandporter.
Grandporter, the woman says,
acquaint me as sure as Lances go to Gucci. Aqua, grandporter. Just Ojina touch line. Oni antidote biao.
Hey,
yeah, buna no ase ayi be say ayi. Abi Clemente be say ojino mintim. Hey. What's up? Na jabo me simi nfe ni biem da.
I only need komo bi.
Oh, maybe no.
That's all nka wa oni pa.
Ah, na wo ka che me panim so wo dada.
What you ka che me panim?
Ye wie game no. We are no akwaje 5. Akwa no nye bruni.
I think say Mami preview the game. Weekend games to the accredited. After another game, the Man City versus Tottenham Hotspur match. Ebeko so honum. Bournemouth, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Ebebo. Rich, don't you think that Tottenham 4 in the last 4 games? How many Man City? Since you just 1 win per woman. Omukobia Tottenham
team omo.
Yeah, so team omo. And Rich, Thomas Frank has a good team. And he's a very good manager. The good thing for Joseph Guardiola is that Rodri is in. The players, no Phil Foden is in. Majority of the players are in. Of course, Tijani Randers the last weekend was solid. Elfie. Rich. Me Adeba come in power match. We say I go back. In all of these Man City Tottenham Hotspur games, there are goals. So I know that today will not be any different. Even in Tottenham Hotspur Paris Saint-Germain match, Tottenham Hotspur for no crown, there were goals in there. So I'm expecting goals. Either team to win over 1.5, either team to win over 2.5, or over 1.4 over 2.5. Ebeto. I'm very certain say Ebeto. And so I'll go that is exactly what's going to happen from there. Arsenal Ebeto. And Arsenal won the first game with you. After some about Manchester United to come and do the job 1-0, which Arsenal will fear there. I trust them. I know that Arsenal are very good against the big sides. I know boys in crown almost drop a point. They are not crying a bend anymore.
And
Leeds and newly promoted side. See, I know Daniel Farker, who is the manager of Leeds United. Farker will open and play. Obe BM or no conservative. Farker, yes, I didn't say, or your Leeds back on, or Korea, where friend saying Southampton, or Coney Chrome, Germany, or Sakoya, or
a Biasa Krakutom, the same.
Marcelo Biasa, on
the baby,
yeah,
fail, will be defending.
And Oba Emirates now be BM, Massa, and your Martin Russell, money, money, be no better. So I'm certain that Arsenal will get a job done at Emirates as well. No more, you, Moko Craving Cottage.
I call 5 times in the show.
Oh wow! I had not seen that.
We are check it.
A true stats now the moment.
Oh,
okay.
You can check it.
Oh, I just want to.
I
know, but
first second.
Okay, so
5 times you are cooking cottage. Yeah, sure.
Oh, Aguna. This season so
now. I exactly. How share the first go?
There's a house member share.
Oh,
Boko. Minya analysis nenko. Mami hami.
Boko.
But
this time they eat and sleep in Libya. Eat, sleep, go and train.
But okay, eat and sleep and I work him.
See, my cat does the matter. He said, maybe a season I do know.
If you eat, train before you go.
Train before you go. And you are more common training. No cover board. Because the ticket say keeps it. That's the first point in there to actually.
Wow.
And I mean, this is a crucial game for us. And
Marco Silva is good.
Yeah.
Who's a
very, very good.
Full and first game away at Brighton. Oman 1 point. Oman winning. Yeah. So that's a game that they would want to win. So it's a tough game. This is going to be different from Arsenal, Rich, because Fulham will let you play the ball and ask you to come and break them down. And me, I want to sit on the fence with this Manchester United game because I don't have concrete analysis on Manchester United on how you want to play. What I've seen is not enough. I want to watch Manchester United again against Fulham. And then for Monday, I'll tell you exactly what I think with my subsequent matches. And it's a game where there, me in my sleep, I'll take it out. Because I'm not certain what is going to happen in some matches. So that is it. Our English Premier League matches now because most of the matches because of Premier League reach. Me are very confident say goals ever to this weekend, especially Saturday matches now. A lot of goals will come. Burnley, Sunderland, I'm certain that goals will come through as well. Arsenal Leeds goals will come. Bournemouth versus Wolverhampton Wanderers, there will be good goals in there. Brentford last weekend considered a lot. I think Aston Villa gets goals this weekend. And Man City and Tottenham Hotspur will get some goals. Of course, Barca elbow away from home just because the Spotify Camp Nou is not set for them and they are going away to Levante. See, do not underrate Levante. And as if Flicker on a pre-match press conference, say they are stubborn side One of the things on my idea pan say one of the Spanish teams are very good in their mid blocks. Bolo to say Mayoka. More mid or better press kakra. Or we need more than no transit. No transit or the side one ever how. And that is what Hansi Flick is saying from there and said they need to be good. Also, Hansi spoke about the intensity of the squad, you know. Said in this weekend, they shouldn't drop the intensity like Mayoka. They should go in there and kill. Say so Mukua and Romania Jumane or Honum. I think the Barca will get the job done. Who possible starting 11 now, Barca, Remo, and of course, Levante so starting 11. What we hear is that Ferran Torres will start again. Because of course Robert Lewandowski still in Marcus Rashford starts off from the bench. Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, Pedri, and then Gavi Ruada. Only say Frankie De Jong this week. Into 1 year training is be Barca for 1 year. So he's out of this game, or at least he's not going to start. Into Pedri, Gavi Ruada instead of Pedri, Frankie De Jong, and of course Dani Olmo as a 10. Alejandro Balde, Pau Kubasi, Ruan Arau, and Jus Kunde will return to the team. And then, of course, Juan Garcia is going to be there. And Tushe Levante team, a 5 back. And it's a team that you need to be very careful of. Alvarez de Martinez are the main guys, but then they press, they are aggressive, and they try to translate using them wing backs, which Barca should win. I just think that you should be careful in that match. Maybe Barca will not score too many. Especially, over 2.5, be careful. Stay away from over 2.5. Maybe an over 1.5 just to be safe in sad bets. But I think that Barca has enough to get a job done. Of course, Madrid is going to be tomorrow. Of course, a team against Yenina Kwesi Sebo, the team Real Oviedo team away from home. Are you expecting them to just win or a better performance as compared to last week?
Both.
It is not too early.
No,
Madrid are saying
this is Real Madrid.
But still, sometimes you need some small patience for them.
So Obe you see teams here, free Division 1 and Premier League to announce your presence.
But I think that Madrid
and tell your story.
Madrid from now to game with 10. Media should just be win anyhow for me. And I'll see small things of growth in there. Me, I'm not looking for flamboyant football from Madrid now. I'm not expecting them to light up games.
Well, me Madrid, but I know, sir, from the end from the new coach and in the Madrid setup now.
Yeah.
Every Madrid fan be a Madrid team now. Aside from good football.
But still they need time, Richardo.
Time being.
Oh, Rich.
So time near the old preseason.
No, 1 year preseason, 1 co preseason.
Preseason.
No co preseason. Oh no, man, there's a club World Cup.
After the Club World Cup.
I don't want to here 3 weeks, no baby training 1 week.
Obey. Ebiana Chelsea or Debon.
There be Chelsea Maresca kita mu 1 year. On share, o de Madrid in share. Ochina, I'll be careful with this Madrid game.
Men kaso mbobo gidi but at least young signs be.
Signs.
They me who of first game in the Nyamian.
Okay, so let's see what
they won, but
Real Oviedo and La Gazzetta dello Sport anymore. Almost say the Italian Serie A is back and Napoli bar we AC Milan able fees. I don't trust AC Milan. But Massimiliano Allegri's first game at home as a Rossoneri. See, I'll be very surprised if AC Milan drop point at home. Milan for ball in a good game. See, Michelle, this season minty Utiemia and Utiemia. Watch the Italian Serie A. More there. The storylines there too are beautiful. Watch it. Milan will stay at home and play against Cremonese. Let me tell you one thing that I want OBOT passports be as only this season. Palmer. Rich, Palmer is coached by a young manager called Cuesta, Carlos Cuesta. No assistant manager to Abrante friend Mikel Arteta at Arsenal. He is Europe's youngest coach. In fact, he is younger than Brighton's Fabian Hessler. I think Cuesta will be around 29, 28, oh baby. And after say Inter for ever far, Palmer for coach, meet for Carlos Cuesta. Now he wants to transform the Palmer team from a defensive team to a much more attacking team as a Spanish manager. So just like what Fabregas has done at Como, Palmer wants to do that with Carlos Cuesta. And they are going to play away to Juventus. This is a game that on Sunday, don't miss it for anything. Look out for that game. This weekend, the defending champions Napoli are going away to Sassuolo. It's a game where I don't trust Napoli too much. Although it's a new team, Romelu Lukaku is out. And Ultima Herji was our matching him. Be very careful so the almost share Obetimu El Honuma. But of course, the Italian Serie A there. Make sure you watch. Rich, I think we ran through everything. Yabobo games so nicely. And Gebeja no wahasi and give you just the best coats and then odibeko fikesiem. This enra it was Paris Saint-Germain. It wasn't to be. Enra was one of the days that yapa because Ousmane Dembele nya penalty. No but these are the coats and they could be boys and say we go again. We go again. We coach your friend. We go again. Coach. Many good screenings. No bet me take screenshots. No bet me call Fifi Manfred on all the social media handles. Ubenya el hodom. No a copy na ako guma or Betty el mu el hodom. Rich. These are them who say Oma man keep it longer. Want to bet me take a screenshot. BWC59E948. BWC5A1E1E. BWC5A2 9C9, BWC5A0E67. These are the codes and your friend that we go again codes now.
Okay.
God willing on Monday, sure, baby about
sure. Nyame and to green and fa and codes no so.